the news? Hey, is there something new? What's the news? Say what you want to say.
Oh, good morning and welcome to a super high energy episode. You can tell it's high energy because I sound so full of energy. It's another episode of Coffee Talk. What is up, everybody? I'm Matt, and I'm joined by my friends, Taryn and Brandon.
Hello.
Taryn and Brandon, what's up? Say hello.
I'm doing pretty good. I feel like you're dealing with a hangover, though.
A little bit. I had to get appropriately drunk last night in order to tackle this episode, and also in order to play Star Wars: The Old Republic, the old MMO from 15 years ago. Because if you're not drunk and playing that game, what are you doing?
True.
And Brandon, welcome back. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm happy you're here. The viewers are happy you're here. They've been asking about you.
Yep.
Have they though?
They have.
Yes. All 7 people.
Yep.
All 7 people. My
Those
dad
spiders will get you.
Yep. Canonically, anytime something happens to a person where they have to miss the podcast, it's spiders.
Yes.
We're just clearing that up.
Sometimes it's the bites. Sometimes it's the webs. So they'll tangle you up. Yeah, they're nasty little buggers.
Brandon, when you were wrapped up like little Frodo in the lair of Shelob, did you also have a little bit of foam coming out of your mouth?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice. Hot. So hot. That part always disgusted me. But I also kind of wanted to eat the spider web he was wrapped up in. It looked so delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Unless he's just wrapped in cotton candy.
Dude. Wrap me up in cotton candy and fucking send me to Africa, baby.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what that means. Hey, Brandon, I just have a question for you real fast. How do you feel about strawberries? Do you like a strawberry? Like a fresh strawberry?
Strawberries are okay, I guess. They exist. They're a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
See,
Hey, what if I told you?
I acknowledge they exist and they're a thing. I just don't like them.
Yeah, that's what I expected. I asked Taryn last week, what are some foods you don't like? And he said strawberries. And and maybe it's not that big of a deal, but a strawberry is just so inoffensive.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you don't like it.
It's not for me, man.
We got a crispy episode, an overdone, maybe slightly singed, burned up to ashes, scattered all around.
Are you talking about okay.
Are you talking about my mother?
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, and my mother. High five. Yeah.
Jeez.
Fucking
our moms are ashes.
Off the rip, man.
Rip.
Yeah. God damn.
I thought
it's eugenics part 2.
Matt
Go
was
ahead.
going to make a Holocaust, tie there, but god damn.
Rest in peace, Mom.
Yeah, rest in peace. And Taryn, really, when one's mother dies, isn't it kind of like a personal Holocaust?
I guess it is. You're right. I didn't think of it that way.
You wouldn't know because your mother is alive. I guess that's just over there with a living mother.
Yeah, the way into the
For
living.
now. I'm sorry.
I should apologize for my mom being alive, I guess. That's the podcast now. You're really guilt tripping me.
That's the way it's got to be, bro. All right, let's get into eugenics. Last week, I'll do a little recap. We talked about eugenics, kind of where it came from. Good old Charles Davenport, Francis, what's his name? That guy.
Yep.
Got together. They were like, "Hey, this kind of fucking rules, dude. We can make people pure." And they kind of high-fived. They danced about in a. They didn't dance at all. Maybe people liked to dance back in the early 20th century, so they probably danced a bit. But Charles Davenport, Francis Galton, that's his name, half cousin of Charles Darwin. Brandon, I don't know if you knew this, but the half cousin of Charles Darwin invented eugenics.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy, right?
Yeah,
kind of.
that's not that surprised. Doesn't seem that surprising to me.
No, yeah, it's not. I mean, we said it a lot last week. On one hand, it's like, oh, you know, if you could improve people by like, you know, picking like genes and things like that, and making, you know, getting rid of horrible diseases like bone cancer and stuff, great. But you know, what they decided to do instead was improve people by trying to weed out impure races and idiots. By the way, we didn't really touch on it. I listened to a documentary. Idiot, moron. What else? There's another one. Imbecile.
Yep.
Invalid. All of that comes from eugenics.
Yep.
It's actually it's way worse than I thought it was.
So I can't call my stupid coworker an imbecile anymore. Great.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, technically, probably is, according to eugenics, an imbecile. But, you know.
You could always still call them a troglodyte.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's fine. Troglodyte's fine. You know, call him a trog. But yeah. Yeah, kind of learning, like, what the extent, like, moron apparently is like an immoral idiot type of person.
Yeah.
Like they have sex a lot, or you know, they're just really promiscuous. But it could also mean that anything, you know. But I thought of like one of the, you know, funniest things you could do, or worst things you could do, would be like call somebody an idiot, and then, but you know, clarify and be like, I mean it in like the eugenics way.
Yeah.
And yeah,
it'd be pretty mean.
Yeah, it would be a little mean. But, you know, so there were states came around and they were like, hey, we're just going to sterilize people. We'll sign that into law. I think there were 27 states that could sterilize people. The Supreme Court came to a decision. This wasn't in the episode last week. We're just kind of recapping. We're jumping up to the 30s. So there was this. Is she an orphan? I don't know if she's an orphan. She was, kind of an orphan. She was abandoned by her real family, basically, and sent off to a foster home where she was sexually assaulted by one of her foster parents' nephews or something like that. Got pregnant, had the baby, and she was considered like a moron, like a eugenics-style moron for it, immoral and everything. And she was ruled to be like legally castrated, but this is before like states had laws to actually allow it.
Mm-hmm.
So this lady, I should probably give her a name. I can't remember her name. We're not going to give her a name. She, you know, she's been dragged enough.
True.
You know, but so she's pregnant. She's like, you know, has the baby. They're going to castrate her. She goes to court. The people, the pro-eugenics people that, what is it? The Eugenics Foundation of America or whatever it is. They give her a lawyer. They appoint her a lawyer, one that wants her to get castrated, and they send her through all the courts, and the appeal each time the ruling is like, no, you can't castrate this woman. Or no, every time that, like, the appeal every time that they're like, oh yeah, you can castrate this woman. All the way up to the Supreme Court of the United States of the United States of America, where it is ruled that, yeah, you can just legally castrate citizens. So a bunch of states sign into law legal castrations. And
the good times, right?
Yeah, great times. Great times. Now, we don't go whole hog on it. You know, there was a projected... this is what we need to do if we want eugenics to start working today. And the projected amount of people they would have to castrate was around 15 million. Orders of magnitude above, you know, 6 million that died in Germany?
Yeah.
Something like that. It's you know, the millions that died in Germany, but still way more above. But in the time... I think it was a 6-year span, only about 6,000 people were actually castrated. So, in a way, like, level heads are kind of prevailing, but people are also just being castrated for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another big case about this woman. She's an heiress of level-headed mind and nature, and she has appendicitis one day. She goes in to get her appendix ripped out, and her mom slips her doctor like a $20 bill, and she's like, "Hey, just rip her ovaries out, because
God
I don't,
damn.
Jesus
it becomes
Christ.
a whole thing." Yeah, I don't. That's not exactly how they castrate people, but it's basically
With bribery, I would hope not.
Well, it is. That's how it happened. That the mother asked the doctor to do it, and the doctor was like, "Yeah, okay." The other thing is they have a bunch of these intelligence tests. Turns out IQ tests, eugenics, baby.
Yep.
Brandon, what's your IQ? Are you part of the master race?
Yeah, I've never taken an IQ test because I'm pretty sure they're just bogus.
Yeah, I think they are. They're more about like pattern recognition, and things like that, rather than just intelligence. What about you, Taryn?
I
Do you
think I've took one, but I don't remember what it was. It was years and years ago.
I've got no clue. I'm just gonna assume I am inadequate. I'm an imbecile, and that's how I'll live my life, happy as can be.
Sure.
But they give her an IQ test under duress and pain of her appendicitis. And of course, she can't just like answer these questions because she's like, I'm gonna fucking die. Why are you asking me who the president is or who it was 20 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't care. So she doesn't answer, and they're like, yeah, she's stupid. She's too stupid to reproduce. So the doctor rips her uterus out, and she gets out of surgery, and she's like, "What? You did what now?"
All because
And
she
it's all-
couldn't answer 2 + 2.
Yeah, pretty much, and all because of that, and because her mother, paid to have her.
Yeah.
And then they probably charged her out the ass for the extra surgery anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet, man.
Yeah.
I bet. But she had the money because she was a rich lady. They were all rich. It was a whole thing. It was all about money.
But it's still the American healthcare. So yes.
Yeah. Now, that's another episode. We should go into that.
That was on the
American
list, yes.
healthcare system.
It's a doozy.
Yeah. Because I feel like actually back in the day, maybe not for surgeries and stuff, but I feel like visiting a doctor, 100 years ago was actually really cheap. Like doctors would make house calls. They would come over.
Yes.
They would be like, "I'll give you a 2-for-1 deal. You need your tonsils ripped out. I'll also poke your eyeballs. I'll get rid of your
Yes, but
cataracts,"
also it was more or less a death sentence at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it was horrifying. They used to use ether to put people out.
Yeah. And they didn't have any concept of like hygienics where like, germ theory wasn't a thing.
Right. Yeah. And that was it was getting there. It was getting closer and closer. I think penicillin was finally invented in what was the 1940s. It was like 42 or 43. Yeah. Whenever America went to war, people were like, "Hey, this can cure it." That's a whole story. I listened to a show about that one time. Mm-hmm. Penicillin's crazy, dude. But this isn't about penicillin. This is about a woman getting her baby maker sewn shut because she was ruled an imbecile by, a shitty doctor and her mother. And this sparks a bunch of outrage through the nation. This is kind of the beginning of the end of the popularity of eugenics. It happens to this rich woman, and everybody's like, "Hey, yeah, it would be great if we can sterilize black people and Italians and the Irish and also those fucking people, from, just, yeah."
Hey, Matt.
I was about to say some racist shit. Yeah, what's up?
I have a hot take.
Yeah, give me your hot take.
There's a lot of dumb people out there. There's a lot of dumb people out there. Maybe we should do more of it.
Honestly, if they just sterilized legitimately terrible people, it's probably a great idea. If the questionnaire was less about intelligence and more about how do you feel about black people, and if you, that's a hot take. That was a good one. Brandon, how do you feel about sterilizing racists?
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm also all for sterilizing people who think Attack of the Clones is the best Star Wars movie.
Shots fucking fired, bro, for those 7 people who exist.
Hey, man.
You know who you are.
Does anybody think that? I don't.
There's got to be.
Yeah.
There has to be, but that's insane. That movie isn't like enjoyable at all. there's like 3 parts that are kind of fun. You know, Genosis. The end where the are tied up. The part where Anakin feeds Padme. I hate sand. That's an entertaining part.
Yep.
Not as entertaining as Hitler's Germany, though. Boy, let's take it back. 1933, Hitler rises up, gets elected into the German chancellery by forcing people to elect him. Whoa.
Yeah.
He rises up, he's like, Sieg Heil, motherfucker. And he starts killing people pretty quick. Not overtly, but also not like slyly either. Think of like ICE, how that is now. He had this pre-Gestapo sort of army.
Do you think
out in the streets? Go ahead.
Do you think someone just misheard Hitler and wanted to give him a glass of orange juice?
Okay. I understand the Jew part, but
gas.
How do you think
gas?
Oh, gas
and glass.
The Jews.
Glass of orange juice. Yeah. Do you think someone just misheard?
Well, probably not, because I doubt they were speaking English. But
hey, man, if it rhymes in English, it probably rhymes in German.
It might. Yeah. It turns out orange is a German word for inferior person. That's okay.
Sorry, that was my terrible joke of the day.
We just let that one die on the floor. We let it. We got to sterilize that joke.
Just like the Jews.
Well, goddamn.
All right.
So Hitler's out. He's out here. Hitler's being cool as hell. Why did I say that?
Okay, I thought my bit was getting cut. I don't think my bit's getting cut now after that. Holy.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna get cut. Hitler's not being cool. Hitler's being uncool, bro. He's being so
holy
uncool,
fuck,
man.
that's gonna be clipped out of context.
We all know what happens in the Holocaust and all of its
Holy.
chicanery. He rounds people up, political prisoners, Jews, gay people, mentally, handicapped people. He takes them all, puts them in camps, Italians, people who don't agree with him. He puts them into concentration camps and eventually kills millions and millions and millions, like just so many people. He kills them all.
Yeah.
He kills them all. And while that's all going on, America's still hanging out in this idea of eugenics, and don't get it twisted. I mean, don't get it twisted. Why did I say that? That's funny. America kind of likes to pretend we didn't know what was going on, but there were rumors. You hear all the time about I hear they're rounding people up in Germany.
I mean, we were allied with, allies.
For a little bit, like in Germany, kind of thought, hey, America, they love eugenics. We love eugenics. We're going to be tight as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
So through all of this, you get the rumblings about what's going on in Germany and America, and people are still like, whatever, that's fine.
Yep.
And people kind of agree with it. So yeah, Hitler was, he was shocked to say the least that America didn't want to join in, but. Taryn, Brandon.
Arguably, though, there was a lot of communists more at play than it was the eugenics, though.
In terms of what?
Like World War II. The spread of communism.
Oh, yeah. In a weird way, fascism is also kind of like capitalism.
Yeah.
Whoa, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Like what we're going through right now is kind of like fascism because of capitalism? Wow.
Kind of, yeah.
Whoa. Revelations. They really hate communists. And, to be fair to the communist systems back in the day, the, communistic, economically, oligarchic, powerly, ruled by super rich and powerful people. That never works. If you consolidate power to rich and powerful people, it never works.
Yep.
As you can see what's happening in America, where we've got, people like Peter Thiel, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, ruling the country, thinking that they have a clue as to what is best for the American people. They don't.
Yeah.
They just, What's best for the American people is just to like be kind of cool, you know, just hang out, let people live their lives. That's just me talking.
Mm-hmm.
So some Americans back in the 30s really liked Nazism. And we did. I'm sure you guys have seen the pictures or heard about it. We had a great big Nazi rally.
Arguably the
in New York
20s
City.
as well, by the way. And I'll let you speculate which 20s I'm talking about.
2020, yeah. January 6th, 2020. Nazi rally at the Capitol building.
Yes.
Overthrow the government. Stop the steal. Brandon was there. Would you have gone, Brandon?
No,
you could smell
because
Nancy Pelosi's shoes.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I keep derailing your podcast here.
But we had a great big Nazi rally back in 1939 at Madison Square Garden. That's right.
Yep.
New York City, baby. Heck yeah! Just imagine a bunch of pale people, just white guys coming out, Sieg Heilen, Nazi flags, swastikas, George Washington, just enshrined with a horrifying image, right?
Yep.
To think about. I don't think George Washington, I don't think he would take too kindly to the Nazis.
I don't think so either.
I think that sort of power was something he kind of fucking hated, like most people do, you know? But this Nazism was billed as like a pro-American rally, not just like, oh, we're going to join the Germans. It was like, hey, you love America. We love America, like what they do today with America First, which we'll get into that also later. It's like, oh, yeah, obviously, if you love America, we love America, so we're on the same side, right? But it's like, no, I love America because it's, it's fucking sick here, dude. It's great. You love America because you want white people to be the only people that live here except for slaves.
Yep.
So, thankfully, more people were actually against this Nazi rally than the people that attended it. 20,000 attended the rally, and more than 100,000 protested against it outside. Crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it was 39. I'm so proud of people back then, because people were racist, horribly racist. People were kind of brainwashed by eugenics at the time of everything. People did not like the Jews, and I'll get into that later. But it's like there were enough people though that were like, why are we being so shitty?
Yep. It's almost like a third of the country is bad.
Yeah, right. It's like it's only 1/3. It might even be less than a third. There's a third that vote for it, but probably less than half of them that actually really care. So most of them are probably just grumpy people who would be fine.
Similar to the 3/5 compromise.
How so? Because the 3/5 compromise meant a black person was 3/5
I know,
of a
but
person.
also think about who instilled those values.
Okay.
Very similar.
way to pull it out in the end. So yeah, there's some hope. People actually don't like the Nazis in America. This is kind of the point where Hitler's like, what's going on here? So shortly after the rally, the movement withered away and died. Also, this rally, by the way, in part thrown by the first stand-up comedian. Bet you guys didn't know that. Forgot his name. Yeah, stand-up comedy rooted in anti-Semitism.
Yep.
Who would have thought that, too? Isn't that crazy? This guy was an asshole. But I don't know. I mean, just the art form he inspired. A lot of people got into it, but this guy was a particular asshole, and he was a Nazi. Truly,
one of my favorite comedians says a funny line. It's, "Why does my vote count the same as his?"
Yeah, and yeah, like getting into that, like that's one of those things. Like ideally, the better people in the world would have more power. But if you do that, it's like, well, who's really making the decisions, and is it really better for everybody if, Yeah. But still, I know what you're saying, because it's like this guy, eats dirt for fun, and he's voting just like I am.
Yep.
Isn't that great? But that's kind of the beauty of it all, right? That guy can speak with his votes as well, even though it's probably incorrect and misinformed. And
Sure.
that's the real problem. Another short-lived fascist movement, of which I'll give a little excerpt about, is the America First Committee. America First, guys. What do we know about that? Happening today, people.
Yeah.
Hats and all that.
Sounds very, very similar to today's, political landscape.
That's because it is the same. It's the same exact thing. America First is currently today, it is a dog whistle. It's like the same thing of people like, you like America, we like America, we want America to be first in everything, right?
Yeah, it's almost similar to the slogan, Make America Great Again,
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I want America to be great, of course.
Yeah.
I just don't want racists to run the country, guys.
Little do they know.
At its height,
little did they know.
it's racists all the way down. Barack Obama, racist.
Yeah.
He hates Chinese people.
That's not where I thought you were going to say. Okay.
At its height, the America First Committee had about 800,000 members. That's nearly 1 million people. 1 million people nearly joined this. And it's one of those things where you can't really tell the true bad guys from the normal people because the general, maybe even common sense stance of, America First, which is like, yeah, of course, America First. It's like if you don't join this, you're like, America Second. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's only when you scratch the surface, when you find out the real message they stood for. You didn't have to really dig deep. Like today, you don't have to dig deep. You can, openly hear people a lot of times just talking about slurs and, how they hate illegals. Calling people illegals instead of people is fucking insane to me. The America Firsters were without a doubt an anti-Semitic group who opposed going to war with Germany. Anti-Semitic, anti-immigration group who did oppose going to war with Germany. And you guessed it, it's because they like the Nazis. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact, guys. On September 11th, 1941, just like a couple months before Pearl Harbor, the America Firsters held a rally in, drumroll, Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah, September 9/11, Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh, my God.
1941. Heck yeah. Charles Lindbergh took up to the podium. This is his speech. It's not very long, so enjoy what he says. Because, man, this is crazy. They're just saying this in Des Moines in 1941 on September 11th. Never forget. It is not difficult to understand why Jewish people desire the overthrow of Nazi Germany. The persecution they suffered in Germany would be sufficient to make bitter enemies of any race. No person with a sense of the dignity of mankind can condone the persecution the Jewish race suffered in Germany, but no person of honesty and vision can look on their pro-war policy here today without seeing the dangers involved in such a policy, for both us and for them. Instead of agitating for war, the Jewish groups in this country should be opposing it in every possible way, for they will be among the first to feel its consequences. Tolerance is a virtue that depends upon peace and strength. History shows that it cannot survive war and devastation. A few far-sighted Jewish people people realize this and stand opposed to intervention, but the majority still do not. Their greatest danger to this country lies in their large ownership and influence in our motion pictures, our press, our radio, and our government. Wow, there it is. That's the end of his speech.
Yep.
Just right there with the Jews run everything.
Yep.
Yeah. This is why every conspiracy theory boils down to, it's Jews.
And I feel
Jewish
like
space lasers comes from this.
I feel like there was a little bit of projection when he was talking about tolerance, because I feel like he is a very intolerant person.
Exactly. He's like, yeah, tolerance is just fucking bending over and taking it up the ass, even if, if people hate it.
Did he think the Jews were the ones that kidnapped his kid?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. That kid got flushed down a toilet or something, right?
Oh, my God.
Or is that something else? I don't know.
Yeah, whoever took that kid did that kid a favor.
Yeah, fucking have a dad like that. What a cunt. You can bleep that. Just yeah. It's like it starts off and it's kind of like, oh, pro peace, but it's more like, yeah, so what? They're killing hundreds and thousands of your family across the sea at this, 1941. It's, thousands and thousands. I don't know if the SS has started their crusade. They probably have. They're in like Poland and they're executing full towns of Jewish people by that point.
Mass genocide.
Yeah, they've started. They haven't started like, the final solution, killing people in the camps yet. But like they're basically
working their way
they're
there.
killing millions of fucking people.
Yeah.
Not just Jews, but just everybody's getting fucked. And he's just like, yeah, no, if you just bend over and take it.
Yep.
Well, who cares? Who cares that Germany's actually kind of a fucking tyrant right now? America's not going to get into it. Which, I mean, there's, I don't know how you guys feel about it, and we'll take opinions. But my thought is, if it is truly righteous to fight and kill people, in which case, it's probably good to do. If you're fighting and killing people for the sake of the people that are being killed by, another person. Yep. But like, the Iran thing that we're going through now, that's just for oil. That's just for Israel.
Yep.
That's just, you're not helping the people there. You're hurting the people there.
Yep.
And maybe we're too far removed from World War II right now to really understand if that was actually the case too. I mean, obviously, we stepped in. We did what we could. But did we do the right thing when we did step in? I don't know. I don't think we hung enough Nazis. I'll be honest.
Probably not.
Oh, okay. So, notice how every bit of his speech kind of sounds rational and like something a normal person would say about opposing wars. And then he comes at you with a damn baseball bat to the back of the head and is just like, yeah, I get you want to stop the greatest tyrant of all time. But what about how all you people have the money and influence? Or all the Jews have that, which is, I say which is a lot. Which, by the way, nearly every conspiracy theory stems from these thoughts, if you dig into them enough. Hollow moon, it's the Jews. Hollow earth, it's the Jews.
Jewish space lasers.
Flat earth, yeah, Jewish space lasers, the Jews. Flat earth, Jews. A lot of aliens are the Jews, but sometimes they're not. The IRS, the Jews. CIA, probably Jews. I don't know. MK Ultra, everything. They always go back to some sort of Jewish cabal.
Yep.
Pulling the strings. The more you learn about it, that's why the 9/11, you guessed it.
Jews.
Yes, but also Dick Cheney. So they always go back to some sort of Jewish cabal pulling the strings, brainwashing people into being communists or devil worshippers or something. Just a bunch of ridiculous fucking bullshit.
Yep.
Good news, though, guys. We're going to get into folk territory, folk singer territory. My man, the homie that died 60 years ago, Woody Guthrie, 70 years ago? I don't know. You guys remember him? He wrote the This Land Is Your Land, and that song about the Italian Hall, the 1913 massacre.
Yeah.
Massacre. Great song. Well, he wrote a song called Lindbergh, and in it is one of the most prophetic and important lyrics I think he ever wrote. So I'm not going to sing it, I'm just going to read the little verse. So I'm going to tell you people, if Hitler's going to be beat, the common working people has got to take the seat in Washington, Washington. And I'm going to tell you workers, for you cash in your checks, they say America first, but they mean America next in Washington, Washington.
Yep.
So think of that. Think of all your racist uncles out there preaching this, truly believing in America first, like everybody actually does, maybe not first, but like America is a priority in all of our hearts, but not in the way these guys mean it. Because they don't mean it in the sense that the people in America are first. They mean, we're going to get our bag and get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
And you guys are next.
And it's so weird because it's a lot of conspiracies obviously like blame the Jewish, and then I feel like in the last, I don't know, 30 years, politics has kind of shifted to where it's like, instead of us blaming the Jews, it's we blame the brown man, and that's why we're going to war with Iraq.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, like, come on.
Yeah,
like, how much more racist can
man.
we get? Like, at this point, you know, it's
exactly.
It's weird because you have echoes of the past influencing literally the future, and then also we're like changing the way we hear the reverb of the echo to, you know what, instead of Jews, let's go with brown people. It's like, okay, come on.
Yeah. History rhymes so hard, and if you just decide to not listen, I don't know how people can't just see it for what it is. You know what I mean? It's so obvious. If you know anything about history, anything about the bad guys, anything about the good guys, anything just about what's right, and, you know, the fact that doing good things for people in general, not just citizens of your country, just good things, is a net positive for your country and the rest of the world, which is, you know, if we could just do only good things, the world would be a utopia. We wouldn't have all the shit we've got now, the horrible stuff. We wouldn't, you know.
I'm not saying like the Middle East is by any means perfect, but like, why do we have to launch another war into it? Because Netanyahu has probably leverage over Trump. Like, come on. Like, it's so clear as day at this point. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's clear. We're just out there. We're sucking on Israel's teat for some reason. I think it's because
probably tapes.
If we gave, yeah, that's a good point for Trump anyway. But also, like, every president has been that way with Israel. Trump's the only one that's kind of been manipulated by him. You know what I mean?
But also, didn't Bill Clinton say not. Like, don't forget which one's the superpower or something like that to Netanyahu?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, before Netanyahu, it was other people. But, you know, it was a thing where, like, America was clearly, like, on top. But here lately, it's been like, oh yeah, we're really just behind these people. We're not leading anything. We're just like, yeah, do what you want. We're giving them a bunch of money. Oh, Israel, by the way, I forgot about this. Eugenics. Isn't that crazy? German eugenics, though. Israel was established after World War II, around that area, because, you know, they were like, there's all these Jews here, and we took their land, and we're not just going to give it back. You know, maybe they can have the Holy Land. We can, you know, put them over there and make them fight a war that never ends.
Yeah. And it spawns the whole Palestine. And oh my, it's like so much of it. It's just interwebbed with everything that we deal with modernly. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah. Everything kind of comes into place where, like, it's weird because you think it's all so complicated that you could never trace things, but in a weird way, it's almost so simple. Like, it very clearly, it leads back to this, and before that, it leads back to, like, pogroms in, you know, the 15th century, and before that, it leads to, you know, everything, like the Black Plague, leper colonies. You know, eventually it leads back to fucking Jesus getting up there on the cross, all like boastful and shit. You know? It's like, look at me, I can carry my own wood. Yeah. What? is that too far?
No, not far enough. He couldn't nail the nails though.
Yeah.
That might be a little too far.
Yeah. Yeah, he couldn't pick up the hammer and fucking drive a nail in his foot. So, yeah, thankfully, after Pearl Harbor, America First diminished. This idea of, like, Nazism in America sort of diminished.
Yep.
Racists were still everywhere, and Nazi sympathizers could still be found. But mostly people were like, this is actually really fucked up, and we're just not going to participate in that anymore. So America kind of made up his mind that racism is cool if we're the ones in charge of it. And that was that. America smashed the Japanese on the Pacific Front, who, by the way, were also terrible fucking people. You know, we don't give enough credit to the Japanese in public for how horrific they were in World War II. They killed millions of Chinese people and Korean people.
I thought Brandon knew about that.
Yeah. Brandon knows all about that.
Man,
He's a big fan. He's a big fan. He's a big fan of Japan and.
I'm a big
30s.
Nanking fan. Come on.
Oh boy, we steamrolled the Germans in France, and all the way into Germany, where we split them up. Where the Cold War started. All the while, the issue of racism was never fully addressed. We never just ripped the Band-Aid off and was like, "We hate you people. How do we fix this?" No, we just kind of let it exist. Even as more and more rights were granted to those without such rights. So the civil rights movements, the letting black people vote, letting women vote, all of this stuff. To tell the truth, we are currently a long way off from a Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden, but we still have a long, long way to go before we land on some spectrum of people are people, and they just want to live their lives like the rest of us do.
Hey,
and
Matt, and Brandon, I have a solution to all of this.
A final solution?
Sort of.
Because that we tried that and it didn't
sort
work.
of. Instead of blaming the Jews and instead of blaming the brown men, you know who we should blame?
Jeff Bezos.
No. The damn French, because we had to carry their sorry asses in World War II.
Oh, we just lost our French listeners.
Yeah, good. Who's the guy that comes in that on your stream sometimes when you're playing Risk? What's his name? Ox.
Yeah.
See you later. See ya, Ox. Sorry. Get fucked.
Nah, he's a good guy.
Why don't you go? Why don't you go to a corner and smoke and surrender real fast and fucking just give up?
No, Ox is a good guy.
Yeah, he's actually.
But obviously, I mean that is a joke. We shouldn't make another person as another scapegoat. That's never the solution. That's never.
Yeah, it's not. You know what's easier than making people the scapegoat? We can just say, "Hey, I'm wrong about this. Let's fix it," and then you fix it. You fucking work it out. It's like a relationship. A country is like a relationship. Sometimes you have to admit you're wrong. Sometimes you just have to fucking deal with the horrible things that you've done in your past. And acknowledge them.
Yeah.
But also
try to make progress.
Try to make progress. Don't be like, yeah, I know we committed a genocide against the Native Americans, but that's fine. It was good we actually killed them, because if we didn't, don't do that. Be like, yeah, we did it and it was fucking horrible. How do we fix it? How do we actually
make amends?
Make the world a better place. Yeah. Make amends. Maybe not even make amends, but just how do we treat these people like humans? And yeah, how do we let them know that they are humans? Wait, they know they're humans. They're not skinwalkers, Matt. They're humans. Not every Native American.
We need
is a
to let them
skinwalker.
know that we acknowledge that of our mistakes and make amends and try to make progress towards the future to build a better future.
Right, and so many people can't just be like, yeah, we were wrong, and I'm sorry, and that's all you got to do about it. You don't have to get on your fucking knees every time you see like a black guy. You don't even have to apologize to every black guy you see. Just in your mind, make it right. Say, I was wrong. Not I was wrong.
History was
wrong. People were wrong, and it's horrible. History was wrong. We fucked up. And I'm not going to be like that. That's all you have to do. That's what it means to acknowledge your privilege. That's what it means to just everything.
That's why I say a healthy dose of being humble goes a long ways.
Yeah. Humble fucking pie, bro.
Yep.
I was about to say strawberry rhubarb pie, but I know you hate strawberries.
Yeah,
so I'm sorry.
that's not for me. Also, not a big fan of rhubarb either.
If you would have said that the other day, that's understandable. Rhubarb is an acquired taste. I like it, but not everybody does. Brandon, do you like rhubarb?
No.
Probably hate rhubarb. He hates it. He hates it. Listen to him. He hates it. I've been a lot of places. Me and my friends have been a lot of places. And we met a lot of people. And for the most part, the most demented of them have been the people who dare to think they're better than everybody else because of the color of their skin.
Well, I mean,
not the poor man.
You always think you're better than me because you like strawberry.
Hey, you can't deny facts, Darren. Remember last week I was saying if you can't just admit you're wrong, you can never be right. This is one of those scenarios again.
You're pulling out the supremacy card right now.
Yeah, Strawberry Supremacy. Sounds like a great anime. I love it. It's like bubblegum proxy or whatever it's called. So, yeah, it's the people who think they're better than everybody else because of their skin. Not the poor man on the street asking for money. Not the black people so many white people are afraid to see hanging out in neighborhoods they live in. You know, you ever hear about people who are like, I don't go to that neighborhood, it's so fucking sketchy. And then you just drive through it and it's a normal-ass neighborhood, but there's like black people there, and you're like, oh, this is why they think it's sketchy. Yep. You ever, you know, like bad people do exist everywhere, but you know, if people live there, it's likely not a war zone.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are places you go and get shot, but, you know, but it's different than just, oh, that neighborhood doesn't feel good. And it's, you know, it's because a bunch of people who don't have a lot of money or, you know, live there, or it's just you're racist. Yep. I just don't know why, Taryn, Brandon. People are so afraid, so damn hateful. I just don't fucking understand it.
Do you want to know something interesting that I learned about? When dealing with society and like poor neighborhoods, a lot of the infrastructure that we have in America is actually rooted in like poverty, because bridges that have certain heights in different neighborhoods don't allow for trucks that are taller to go through.
Yeah. Thanks, Eugenics.
That's not necessarily a eugenics thing, but that's more poverty based. But
yeah, no, that
is a real thing.
An absolute thing. Yeah, there were a lot of times they would build like interstates through like neighborhoods, like poor neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, things like that. So, you know, it would, you know, destroy a lot of people's houses, but also it would do that where they would just, you know, leave the bridges low, you know, make it really shitty to live there. And just because there's other places you could put the interstate, but it's like, no, let's just make life a living hell. You know, if you don't believe me that people out there are like that, remember Strom Thurmond, a segregationist, you know, senator who really loved segregation, was still a senator until he died in like 2011.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that people absolutely hate, and I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I know, I don't know. Sorry, I won't say there aren't bad people. I know they exist. I just also know that most people are good, or at the very least neutral, when it comes to how they want to affect my life.
Yeah.
And is that so hard to believe, guys? Maybe just...
It's not hard to believe, but I don't
for...
understand how people could just see hate into the world. That to me is that just, I don't understand, unfathomable at that point. Because you can't, I don't understand how you can live like that where you're just seething hate. It's like,
I mean, yeah, at the very least, just hate yourself. Don't hate other people. You know what I mean? Then you know you can fix it. Maybe you can't. I don't know. Brandon, how do you feel about people named after gun manufacturers? Because I
fucking get rid of them. Up to no good.
Oh, he's on my side. He's on my side. Castrate Remingtons and Rugers. Go do it.
Yes.
Round them up.
Piss off the gun owners. That's what you want to do.
Alligator Alcatraz.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. That's a concentration camp, by the way. That's exactly what that is. Yeah, I know. You know, I'm just calling it what it is. People aren't. They're calling it like a prison thing, but they're not. It's you know, it's a concentration camp where a bunch of immigrants get concentrated and they disappear, which is crazy, dude. All right, so that's gonna do it for Eugenics Part 2. I hope we had a great time. I had a great time. I had a fun time. Kind of a shorter episode because we cut the last one so short. Or you know, I don't know what I'm saying. Thank
you, Matt, for doing the research into this.
It was my pleasure, man, just listening to a bunch of people talk about racists and things like that and how everything kind of ties back to all of this. It was great.
Yeah, it did drive you to drink last night, though.
It did. I drank a fair amount. Had some blueberry moonshine. It was good. Tasty. I'm okay today, though. I'm going to get a haircut in about 3 hours. Super excited about that.
Brad, now Elijah Wood won't think you're a degenerate.
Are you going to make yourself a buffoon in front of him?
I better not, man. If I better not pull a fucking Adam Savage. I better not. I'm not even going to bring that up.
If you want to know more about that story, we talk about it in our streams.
Yeah, come to the stream. You can follow my homies.
Yep.
You can follow Taryn at SliverWolf5. Yep. Sliver like a little piece of something, some metal. Wolf, and then the number 5, not the word 5. You can follow Brandon. He's got an easy one. It's B Jonesy. Brandon Jones.
Yep.
B Jonesy. I'm sorry I just doxed you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Not a lot of Brandon Joneses out in the world, so they're going to find you pretty easy, at least. And I am Matt, and you can follow me at Jackal, like the dog, spelled just like how it sounds, 194. At Twitch, YouTube, podcast services around the goddamn universe, man. This was Coffee Talk. I've been Matt. That's been Taryn. Join us next week when we delve into the homoerotic world of deep-sea fishermen and their boats with silly names.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
1, 2, ready, go. What's the news? Hey, is there something new? What's the news? Say what you want to say.